Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV. In the last parts, we dove into the patch 4.2 story. Well, I say the last part. For YouTube, it's the last part. We went to go investigate the appearance of a peace ambassador from Mount Garlemald, who didn't turn out to be peace ambassador in reality at the end. But for Twitch, yeah, a lot of stuff happened. That's pretty much. I had to break up the two videos because I forgot that the game crashed in the middle of the last part, so I had to put the two parts together, and the length of the video would have exceeded 2 hours, so I decided just to break it up. So that's why. We're here. We're back in front of Sorbonne. We got something to do. The Four Lords. So before we continue with the story, we gotta do this. You would know more of my adventure. Excellent. I should be glad to tell you all I know. Though perhaps it would be easier to let our anonymous client speak for his or herself. Here, their missive. The Ruby Sea and all who call her home. We seek the aid of the warrior who would lay low the Lord of Revel. But first we bid her make haste to Hell's Lid and quell the Oni that dwell in the deepest depths. Should she succeed in this task, we shall speak of the true endeavor and consummate reward. Consummate reward. Bleh. Strange proposal. Must be noted that they knew both of your deeds and of a part in them. The Red have no love or trickery, so I doubted a trap of theirs. And should this client have honest intentions, then for the sake of these waters, it may behoove us to engage them further. As for their test, enclosed with the missive was a magic dagger, along with instructions on how it may be used to open a hidden passage into the depths of Hell's Lid. I should mention that this dagger is old and exceedingly valuable, that our client was willing to entrust it to us without a guarantee of our cooperation bespeaks considerable wealth, and more importantly, considerable reward. If you're willing to undertake the trial, I shall journey to Hell's Lid and prepare to open the path. But given the financial incentive, I think it for the best if I went and fetched Mistress Tataru. Wait for us there, then. Alright. The purpose of the Four Lords is there's two dungeons that are associated with it that are unlocked. And I believe there's two trials as well, if not three. One day I'll get to the Heavens on High stuff eventually, just to unlock it one day. I gotta pull myself through Palace of the Dead first. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard. You have to get to floor 50 in order to unlock Heavens on High. So it shouldn't be. It's not gonna be too difficult to get to level 50. It's just a matter of pulling myself and dragging myself through Palace of the Dead. It's the one PvE well, there's a lot of PvE content that I don't like, but it's one of the few PvE contents I really hate. And it's a shame too, because when Palace of the Dead was first announced, I was like super excited for it. I was all ready to go for it. I was ready to grind the hell out of it. Only to find out that it's just a boring grind. Hope you haven't been waiting long, Cecila. Nope, I just arrived, in fact. My apologies for the delay. I thought it best to explain everything to Mistress Tataru on the way. Honestly, all he had to say was he found a way to make up for Alpino's obscene expenditures. No matter how reckless or dangerous the scheme, if it balances the ledger, I'm all for it. So, there's a bunch of monsters living beneath us. What kind of place is this? Well, according to ancient legend, Hell's Lid is where the hero Tenzin defeated a host of Oni. Who's that? Oni were foul, evil beings that tormented the peoples of the Ruby Sea, and this island was home to many, until Tenzin, together with the Four Lords, drove the Oni into the sea. For his heroic deeds, Tenzin was showered with riches. He then journeyed deep into the mountains, far from the realms of men, and lived in solitude with his companions, happily ever after. And now Cecil's being asked to drive the Oni away again? You misunderstand. What I told you was a fairy tale. To the best of my knowledge, no one has ever seen an Oni. If anything, many assume the tale refers to the ancestors of the Kojin. So what you're saying is that you've got no idea what was waiting for us down below. In that case, I'll leave this to the experts. If you need me, I'll be hiding behind that rock over there. Huh. By experts, I presume she means you and your adventuring companions. I do hope you're not counting on me to join you in the fight. Really? God. Aren't you guys supposed to be like the Disciples of War Beast tribe? Fuck. Oh yeah, that's a good sign. Yeah, let's go. Let's descend into an active volcano. Yeah, this makes total sense. What could possibly go wrong? All right. Insta Q, I love it. This place seems very hot. I would not want to be here. It's a good game. I like it. I definitely like it. It's one of my... Well, Final Fantasy in general is probably one of my favorite game series. This game in particular, you know, I'm biased when it comes to this game, so I'm gonna have to say yes, it's a good game. Oh. Let me bump down the sound a little bit. Alright. The only part about this game that's weak is a Realm Reborn. Once you get through that though, the game gets so much better. And then if you're trying to find a good action or adventure RPG, I mean this is a good start. Hopefully you can hear me with all the sound effects going on. There is a lot to do in this game. As opposed to other MMOs, you don't need like 8 different characters to do everything. You can be everything on one character. So like, all these classes that you can do, all these, you can be all these on one character. But yeah, like I said, it's a slog going through a Realm Reborn. It's gotten a little better since they took out all of the mundane fetch quests that were used to be considered story quests. So there's less of that, but a Realm-Born's still the weakest, weakest part of the game. It doesn't get better until patch 2.4. The game takes a big boost in quality in, oh shit. There's a big boost in quality just from the first expansion onwards. I mean, if you want to try it out, there's a free. This game has a free trial where you can go all the way up to level 60 and all the way through the first expansion, which is Heaven's Ward. So you get a lot out of the free trial, and there's no time limit either. So you can play the free trial as long as you want. There are some pretty heavy restrictions for a free trial users though, because of RMT and bots and all that kind of stuff. So that's the only downside about the trial. And the restrictions, they're pretty heavy. I'm not gonna lie. With all the different classes this game offers, you know, everyone has their different kinds of play styles. And with Endwalker coming out in November, which will add 2 more new classes to the roster, you know. Personally, I'd recommend this over pretty much, well, just about any other MMO out there. But again, I am very biased when it comes to this game. The game's not for everyone, I will say that. You got your fair share of people who, you know, who hate the game for its aesthetics and all the other kind of stuff, music, gameplay, whatever reasoning they have. What's nice about having so many classes and jobs is that each job and class, even the crafters and gatherers, they each have their own little story to them. There's a lot of stories within Final Fantasy and within this game. So there's stories within stories, pretty much. Uh-oh. What was this? Okay, we left the volcano, now we're somewhere else. We're now in an underwater, underground water chamber. I should be greeting this shit. For the dome reconstruction. Alright, so far so good. God, we're already at the end of this dungeon. This is a fast dungeon. Shit. Alright, moving along. What's this? What am I dealing with? I'm dealing with an old turtle. Alright. Genbu, huh? Now, as opposed to the previous stories like the Warring Triad and all the other small little side quest stories, I think I pretty much skipped this entire story arc on my other character, so this will be the first time I actually read the entirety of the story arc. Put the music volume up just a tad. Would seem a more stringent test is in order. What are you doing? We got a barrier. You were warned, warriors. Survive if you can. Alright. It's going down there. I'm safe. Wayne is not, though. Nice! Old turtle's down. Oh. It's now size of a minion. Alright. Give me those comms! I love me some comms. I need a lot if I want to stay, if I want to become a mentor on this character. Haha. I think to become a mentor, if I remember right, you need 1,500 commendations and a certain number of dungeons or instance duties completed. Alright, well, what now? Perhaps we should turn them right side up. No. Oh, there's more. The dog. There's a fox. Oh, there's lots of animals down here. Oh, I should take the picture, wouldn't I? Would help. Oh, marvelous performance, truly marvelous. But then you did the best, the Lord of Revel. By the calming, a talking turtle. I mean, look at yourself. I don't even know where to begin with that one. I trust you'll forgive me for my deception to something of a far eastern tradition, the testing of a strength and so forth. A bit roots, perhaps, but anyway, welcome to Ryzen Temple. I am Genbu, guardian of the sacred place and leader of our little collective. Genbu? The self-same Genbu of the Tale of Tenzin? One of the four lords? Under normal circumstances, I would assume you named for the legendary being, but clearly this is anything but normal. Nothing in my wildest dreams did I think I would meet a talking turtle. Sir! Look at you. You need a mirror. You're clearly a turtle yourself. Oh, but every one of us here can speak your tongue. Is it truly so surprising? After all, we've lived more than 1,000 years. Oh, they're old. I knew turtles were long-lived, but I had no idea that was even possible. In this wondrous land of ours, it is said that a beast which lives 1,000 years attains this measure of divinity. This temple is a place where such auspicious may gather. But take not my word for it. Speak with my comrades and learn their tales. We will talk of the endeavor after. Alright, so we got a panda, we've got a piglet, we've got a fox, we've got a ferret, among other things. We might as well do what he says. Besides, who knows what valuable secrets some 1,000-year-old animals may know. What is this turning into? Of course, these things got whack-ass names. A friend of mine, Tamamo Gozen, once called this place home. Possessed of 9 tails, her power far eclipsed my own. But one day she left to live amongst man. What became of her, I wonder. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice area. Hey, that hurt. You didn't even have to give it. You didn't have to give it everything you had in that fight. You know, I only just went through the chain, so it's not like I was gonna slow you down that much. Who are you? Well, I suppose you didn't know it was off a show, but it was probably really intimidating. Oh, right. You were asking about the collective, weren't you? Let's see. Genbu's the oldest of us. Oldest in the Far East, too, I think. One of the 4 lords, as you can imagine. He's much more powerful than regular old auspicious like me. But you probably knew that already. Who are you again? There's a fat cat. Judging from the way you and that woman were gawping, I'm sure you're not from around here. Clearly not. Don't know how it is in your homeland, but here, if an animal manages to survive 100 years, it begins to get ideas. Delusions of grandeur. Some small, sure, but nothing much to speak of. Survive 10 times that and you become a full-fledged auspice. Auspice? Speech! Magics! It's quite the change, believe me, which is why we call it the change. What? Never said it was something clever. Anyway, point is, don't let our appearances fool you. I could kill you 5 times before you hit the ground. But I won't, on account of me being civil. For now. Alright. I'm surrounded by freaks. Now that you have a greater understanding of who we are, I shall tell you the rather thorny predicament we now face. The divinity of we Auspice, I'm just gonna call it Auspice, manifests in myriad ways. For example, I possess clairvoyance, and with my preternatural power I have seen a vision of the Ruby Sea, of Yangxia, of Ingashi, subsumed by roaring flames. Ooh, that's not good. This is no distant future, I fear, and if we are to avert it, we must need to enlist the assistance of an exemplary warrior, one such as she who faced Lord of Revel and lived. What should we do? What should we do? Fear not, little one, for I have a plan. But to understand it, you must first understand the duality which lies at the heart of the auspices. The Aramitama, the primal rage, and oh my god, these names, and then I'm just called the Niggy, the boundless calm. These elemental forces comprise the soul of an auspice, and it is only when they are in balance that we are truly ourselves. Alas, over great spans of time, or when caught in the midst of tumultuous events, this balance may be disrupted and the soul may be divided. An auspice overcome by I'm just gonna call it the aura. Overcome by the aura is a wild, feral thing, all the more dangerous for their divinity. Calamity and catastrophe invariably follow. Tremors and floods which destroy men's works. Auspices can bring about these natural disasters. How frightening. Perhaps, but you must remember that there are auspices who delight in aiding the people of these lands. Auspices who have been even wreaked havoc in the past. Recall the tale of Tenzin and the Four Lords? The one Sorbonne told us before? About samurai and the auspices who drove the Oni from the island into the sea? Just so. Yet I fear his accounting of events is not quite accurate, for it was not Oni we intended to cast out from this place, but an auspice. An auspice with the power to move heaven and earth. Koryu, wholly consumed by the aura, he stoked the flames in the island's heart until it very nearly erupted in a fiery maelstrom. Tenzin led us into battle against our mad brother, and together we sealed him in this temple. But as the truth of the tale fades from memory, so too do our wards weaken, I fear. Should Koryu break free, we may well finish what he began, and ensure my vision of flames comes to pass. So, long story short, you want Sasa to give this Koryu what for when he wakes up? Really? It's like the primals all over again. I should think not. Our accomplishments notwithstanding, it would be foolish for any mortal to face Koryu without proper assistance, to wit, that of the Four Lords. Regrettably, I am not the young auspice I once was, and to make matters worse, my 3 compeers were nearly succumbed to the aura. Kami forfend! 3 of the 4 Lords have gone mad? The Ruby Sea is doomed! Nearly succumbed. Nearly! Alas, in marshalling their strength to retain their control, they are unable to commit their powers to the preservation of the wards holding Koryu in his prison. And now that you have a full and complete understanding of the situation, we may at last discuss your part in this, warrior. I would have you and your comrades face mine in battle and quell their raging aura. What say you? Why not? I've killed primals before. So I don't get to kill them. So well, it's something. Very well, that is the only way. I should have gone with the other option. Oh, you're an intriguing one, aren't you? We're grateful for your assistance. Let us brook no further delay and introduce you to another of the 4 Lords. I informed Byakko of your arrival when you first entered our domain. He should be returning any moment now. Come. I should have went with that other option just to see what he would say. Thankfully, since this game has the unending journey, you can rewatch old cutscenes, so you can make that choice again if you wanted to. Old friend, the day of beckoning draws nigh. The warriors will fail and Koryu will break free. Before he does, you must quell the raging aura in your soul. This warrior will help. Doubt not her strength, for she has danced with Susanoo himself. A bold, audacious claim. Yet if Genbu believes it true, the more I look at you, the more I see him, and more of him I see. A similar presence, perchance. A light. Very well, I will bow to my brother's judgment. Wonderful, then without further ado, I shall bid my comrade relax and sprint to the aura. What? Here? Now? Won't he go on a murderous rampage? Why yes, that's rather the point. He'll be reduced to the feral beast. Oh, way to be blunt. And then it will be Cecil, was it? Cecil's turn to do battle with my brother and help him quell the fury within. But if it all takes to quell the aura in this battle, then why did you not do the same for Koryu? Why seal him away? Because it was too late. As I said, Koryu was wholly consumed by the aura, not remained of the Niggy. All that he was forever lost to us. The effort I expend to hold back the fury I will instead use to safeguard the calm. It is then you must act. But know that if you fail, it will only hasten my fall. My soul is in your keeping, Cecil. Do you understand? Fine. Then let us quit this place. Genbu may not mind the chaos, but if I'm the wager of my everything, I prefer doing so in the land of my birth. To look on those familiar wilds with eyes that may soon belong to another. Where's that at? When you return to the island, look for Furry. He will guide you back here. Given the circumstances, perhaps it is best we stay here. Would that be acceptable? Oh ho, Sorbonne was it? Be at ease, I have a task for you and your excitable urchin. Follow me. Did that tiny Tarkle just insult me? Oh god. Alright, off we go. I don't know how long the duties are gonna last for the queues. The 2 dungeon queues aren't bad. It's the trial queue. Oh, it's over there. Ooh, I thought it was over here. The trial queues, on the other hand, is a little questionable. All right. Where are you at, guy? There you are. We're here. My earliest memories are not pleasant. From birth, I was shunned by man and beast alike, for my snow-white fur marked me a harbinger of doom. Cast out and hunted, I struggled to survive. But I endured. I grew older and wiser, and one day I resolved to protect this place, and those that call it home. For in spite of everything, it was mine as well. In time, they came to see me as a guardian instead of a demon. And yet, for all I have done to rise above the beast within, I may fall to madness and become the sum of their fears. I bested Kami, you know. You're in good hands. Such confidence from one so young, but as age in of itself does not confer wisdom, nor does youth go hand in hand with hubris. I warn you, for centuries has my aura grown and festered. Hold nothing back, for I will not. Warrior, the time has come for you and yours to make ready. May the Kami grant you strength to save my soul. Alright. The Jade Stoa. Oh, let's hope this queue is not gonna last very long. Of course, the DPS aren't going to sign up. One's probably AFK. Oh, nope. Nice. Ooh, look at this place.
これよりアラミ玉を解放する。我が魂、貴様らに預けるぞ。
And the tiger's become a man. Oh, cool. DPS has already quit. Alright. Yeah, get away from the tank. Whoa. So many balls of death. You know, every time I look at this thing, I'm reminded of the big, I forget his name, the big tiger from Utawari Rumono. Avoid the balls of death. Well, somebody died. Like a rat. They're like going down like a missile. Boom! Down. Uh-oh. Oh, how rude. Nice. You're indeed the warrior they say, not unlike him in many respects. Twas in another era that we first met, him and I, long, long before the Kingdom of Doma. I told you before of my past, of how I was shunned by man and beast alike for the snow-white fur that marked me as the harbinger of doom. Bereft of family and friendship, of home, I wandered the mountains in search of a place to call my own. There I would accept my fate and await the inevitable. But death did not come, for I was unlike my brothers, in more respects than my fur. Every century I grew stronger and stranger, monstrous. In turn, what few sentries dared traverse my domain and withdrew and further. A creature. What did I say? Did I say centuries? I meant creature. Where the hell did I get centuries from creatures? My God. Never had I been so alone. Then one day I woke to find a man standing before me. Bewildered, I rose and bared my fangs as I roared in rage. Begone, or I shall render you asunder and feast on your flesh. What fool has the temerity to approach me thus? But the man did not flee. Rather, he stood his ground and said, This fool is named Tenzin, and ever since he was a child, he spoke the language of beasts. Then you know full well that you stand to lose. Return to your people or die. But Tenzin threw back his head and laughed. They would kill me if I dared. For fear of my talents, I was banished. A harbinger of doom, they called me. In that instant, all my anger drained away. Tenzin's words had struck at the heart of me. He was a fellow outcast, cursed by his kin for his very nature. That night, I listened to his snorings. I realized I had found in this man a kindred spirit. Soon after we embarked on a journey together, in the days that followed, we met with solitary souls that aided them as we had aided each other. But those are tales for another time. I doubt very much you're willing to stand here in silence while I recount my every adventure with Tenzin. Come, let's return to the temple. Genbu is doubtless eager to learn of the outcome of our battle. The man can leap. Or the beast, I should say. Alright. So, here's how I'm going to split these videos up. I am going to since it's the 4 lords, we've already dealt with 2 of them. So we gotta do 2 more. So I'm going to split this. I'm gonna split it up with 2 on 2. So once we finish this little bit of quest, we will move on to the next one, which will be in the well. Let me rephrase that. We'll end the part and move on to the next one, and the next time. There's a giant great white shark that is like the size of a whale. I would not be wanting to swim in this ocean with that thing swimming around. I thought about leaving it all in one video, but I think it'll be a little bit, make the video too long. The War and Try video was pretty long as it was, so no need to explain. Genbu has told me all about you and the thrashing you gave him and the others. Need me to escort you back to the temple? Yes, please. Well done, Cecil. Well done. You have done my friend a great kindness, one we shall not forget. What about you two? What are you guys doing over there? What exactly did what exactly did you ask Sorbonne to do? I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm afraid to ask. Oh, you need to be so concerned. You know well the power of the Kojin's incantations, yes? I have but asked Sorbonne to undergo a little training that he might assist us with the maintenance of the wards. He has demonstrated a remarkable aptitude thus far, in fact. How much longer must I continue? Concentrate. Less chatting, more chanting. What youthful energy! It has been far too long since we had the pleasure of such company. Not since Tenzin, I imagine. I've been meaning to ask, what sort of man was Tenzin? We only just learned the stories and you've already said that they were half wrong. Curious, are you? Very good, very good, very good. Far too many people have no interest in the past. What to say? Well, for one, Tenzin was blessed with the self-same power Cecil possesses. The Echo, I believe it is sometimes called. Alas, you probably already know from personal experience, such individuals are often regarded with suspicion, if not outright feared. Nevertheless, Tenzin was a generous soul who was ever eager to aid his fellow man. Indeed, he died as he lived, fighting for the sake of those he loved. You see, when he faced Koryu, we four lords were still quite young and weak. Not even auspices, in truth. But and we could but look on helplessly as the two dragged on another to the brink of death. With the last restraint, Tenzin imprisoned the mortally wounded Koryu. He then bequeathed us to us a sacred treasure, a crystal which shone with an otherworldly light. Often have I wondered if this crystal was the source of the powers we would grow to possess. Would we have become the four lords without it? If in my heart, I think not. We built this temple to strengthen the wards and safeguard the Ruby Sea, and Tenzin instead, his legacy would be ours, and so it has been to this day. And so it will continue to be, but only if we can rely upon you to quell the ire of our comrades. That can wait though. Byakko needs his rest, and so do you, Cecil. In that case, it'd probably be best if I went back to Kugane. There's no telling what mischief that man will get up in my absence. I too should take my leave. Doubtless I am needed in Tamamizu. Oh, you're not going anywhere. Your training is far from finished, my friend. But I can't possibly refuse the request of the Four Lords, can I? I hate to impose upon you, Cecil, but perhaps you can go to Tamamizu in my stead. Maybe some time before I'm permitted to return home. Alright. Poor guy. He's getting put through the ringer. Alright. So Sorbonne was staying with Genbu for a time. How wonderful to hear. I had no doubt he'll make the most of this most blessed opportunity. Oh, I have another missive for you. It was delivered personally by an unusual cat. An auspice, I presume? What's this? You are welcome to come and go from the temple as you like. Furry will remain here at his post above ground. You need only seek him out. I should be glad if you take him up on his invitation and looking at Sorbonne every now and then. After all, he is in essence our representative there. Sure.